It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only Survivor podcast that is any fun to listen to. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend Thomas Powell if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how you doing on this Marquesas Memorial Day? You see what I did there?
Marquesas Memorial Day, the most anticipated Marquesas Memorial Monday of all.
But here's what we're remembering on this Marquesas Monday. Memes. It's a Memorial Day. Have we ever done this before?
I don't think, we've talked about memes, but I don't think we've ever done it on Memorial Day.
We got to talk about it Memorial Day. So here's what I'm doing. I have Googled image searched memes from 2008. You know, the best year of our lives. And I'm going to read to you the text on each meme, and you have to guess what the macro is.
All memes gave some memes gave all.
World War II? Oh, no.
All the wars.
That's soldiers, right. So you put milk before your cereal? Tell me how you're not a psychopath.
Okay, this is definitely condescending Wonka.
Indeed it is.
That's a terrible meme.
If I drink bubble tea every day, does that make me a local?
Is that Velociraptor?
It is. I don't know what that means. Can you explain that?
I guess maybe it would be like if you were in like Thailand or something. I don't know.
Takes driving test, gets first DUI.
Is that Bad Luck Brian?
Is that the kid in the sweater vest with the cheesy smile and the swooped over hair?
Yeah, the misfortune is always hitting him, I think.
That is a meme I was not familiar with back in 2008, apparently. I don't often say I love you, but when I do, I'm drunk.
Is that the Dos Equis guy?
No, it's actually the human from Lord of the Rings that isn't Aragorn.
Oh, is it like Boromir?
Boromir? Is that his name?
Is it him doing the like one does not simply walk into Mordor, which is its own?
Yeah. It's a takeoff of that. Ooh, this is a fun one. Okay, memes from 2008. Oh, I gotta click through because it's really big apparently. Memes in 2008. You mean your name isn't Mom? What do you think that one is?
I don't know. Is it like a baby?
Yeah, it's a confused baby. Memes in 2014. You what, mate?
I'm familiar with You What Mate, but I guess I don't really know what the name of the macro thing would be for this.
This one is a picture of Abraham Lincoln. And next to it is that quote, and it's attributed to somebody who is not Abraham Lincoln, it looks like.
Okay.
I kind of remember that kind of joke. And then memes in 2019, and it just says, toaster.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a picture of a toaster, and it's kind of blurry.
Cool. All right. Was this like the Cold Pockets era where people were like, this is actually the most wholesome kind of humor? This is the peak of humor because it's not mean.
Yeah, that's exactly what people were saying back then. So, post-movie trailer of Twilight from 2008.
What?
I don't know. One does not simply vote for John McCain.
Okay, so this is Boromir again.
This is Boromir again, but this one is hand-drawn. This one is definitely not from 2008. It's the one with the fancy Pooh. Pooh Bear, not the... Okay.
Oh, the fancy one. That one's pretty recent, actually.
Yeah. It's not about the meme. It's about detecting the message.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, okay, buddy. So that was memes from 2008. You know what show existed in 2008, Thomas?
Did Survivor?
It was Survivor. Thomas, did you watch Survivor 44 last night?
Jake, I did.
And what did you think of this week's?
One does not simply watch the Survivor 44 finale.
What did you think of the?
Oh, did I just win the internet?
Oh my God! Can you imagine winning the internet finally in 2023? It's been so long since somebody won it.
Yeah, it's about damn time somebody did.
It's about damn time. Lizzo, has she won the internet?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot. I think that one of the last gasps I've seen of someone like winning the internet was when she had that flute, the like old president. It wasn't
yeah.
like Martin Van Buren. It was James Madison's flute, wasn't it? I was thinking of short presidents.
I genuinely thought you meant that she was playing flute for the president, James Madison, and I was like, I don't think that's right.
She went back in time because she was being so epic.
Back in time. Huey Lewis.
Yeah, her and Huey Lewis went back in time. I was just talking about how much I like the song "Back in Time" this
course.
weekend.
It's a classic Memorial Day conversation. Huey Lewis.
Yeah,
on the
she
news.
went up to Huey Lewis and was like, "Hello, doctor. Where are we going this time?"
Here's something I just thought about. Was calling the band The News a setup for people to say, "Have you heard the news?" Did they
I guess, yeah.
set up a joke for their listeners to say, "Who are they?
Yep.
Us?"
Yeah, that was an extended bit. Huey Lewis seems like he has a good sense of humor, so
Yeah, he
that
seems
makes
like
sense.
a cool guy. You know who else has a good sense of humor?
Who's that?
Matt Blankenship, who's titled this week's episode, which was Absolute Banger Season. I think, honestly, kind of apt title.
Yeah, Common Survivor W.
Yeah. Survive War. Winners at War. That's 2 W's. Anyway, Jeff introduces us to the finale. This is in place, of course.
Jeff comes in and is like, "When you pass the sticks to the players on this season, are they goated with the sauce? Tune in to find out."
He is trying to appeal to younger viewers with this new era, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, he's like, Riz God Matt.
Can we talk about Jeff Probst's Riz?
How would you characterize his Riz?
Lacking.
What? Come on.
Maybe back in like 2001, 2002, 3, 4. When
Yeah,
he would,
early Jeff, Riz was off the charts. I think we can all agree. Because
Modern
he
day
knew how to
Jeff,
neg people.
Modern Jeff, he doesn't leave the islands of Fiji ever, even to do a live reunion show, even when COVID is over. More like Cover.
He needs to go back. If there's one thing that I've learned from dating apps, it's that people love a roast to flirt ratio, and there's a lot of roasting going on with Jeff.
Tell me, Thomas. What's the roast to flirt ratio?
I love being roasted. You should roast me.
What's your... Man, they're going to love this. Whoever... You can just send this clip to anybody who says that, and they're going to love it. What's your roast to flirt ratio, Tomas Powell?
I don't think about these things.
Okay, but you love
I'm nice.
to roast.
I'm not trying to be mean to people.
You like to ask the question, who roasts the roasters?
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to be nice to people, but roast systems, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be individually mean. I'm just trying to be mean to systems of oppression.
Like
and I have that on my
apps.
dating profile, and I'm not getting any hits, and I don't understand why.
Systems of oppression, like the zodiac sign.
Yeah, like
dating
Dave and
apps.
Buster's, because they banned me from the premises. Because I was too drunk while playing Guitar Hero, apparently.
I was too good. That's what they said. I was too good
Yeah.
at hitting all the buttons at the same time. Yeah, I'm trying to get all the points.
They were trying to say it was some bullshit about how I wouldn't stop drunkenly taunting children that were trying to beat me at it, but I think it was because I was too good.
They used the word discordant in a Dave and Buster's because of me. Can you believe that? And then they kicked me out. Like, suddenly they're so proper knowing words like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out.
Would you kick Michael Jordan out of a basketball game for being competitive? No. Why am I getting kicked out of Dave and Buster's?
I can't believe you haven't gotten any responses for that very long essay you sent to everyone.
Yeah,
you matched with.
I've emailed their customer support that exact sentence and nothing else over 100 times and have not received a response.
That's some bullshit, honestly. You should try some different emails within the company. Do some sleuthing. Because
Yeah,
I think you're doing everything right.
I got to get to the bottom of this.
So Jeff introducing us to the finale is in place of him introducing us to the live reunion set. Is this better or worse?
I don't know. I didn't really have much of an opinion about it, to be honest.
It kind of makes me miss the live reunion. I like seeing people like Adam Scott react to the exciting moments of the finale with me.
Yeah, I agree.
They should do a live reunion like that every episode. Do like an after show with a big audience.
The thing is, though, is like I think they know that the magic is gone because Jeff doesn't show up on the jet ski anymore. So maybe this had to happen.
It took them 20 years to realize that. So they start off on a new beach. How do they get there? Not a jet ski. Can't have money for a jet ski anymore, apparently. Krylin goes looking for the idol. Carson doesn't want to go looking at night because he can't see. That makes a lot of sense to me. Jam Jam claims it... oh, yeah. This was so funny. Jam Jam claimed to find it, but it was actually just a piece of wood. Good stuff,
keep on their
Jam
toes.
Jam. Heidi talks about how she always worried about going home with an idol in her pocket and then goes looking for a new idol, as does everyone else. Great stuff. We love idol hunting in the finale. Isn't this what it all led up to?
This is what it should all be about, is, looking for idols and practicing fire making and nothing else.
The fun thing about looking for idols is that it separates every individual castaway from every other person on a show about building relationships. Did we forget that? Did we forget that's what the show's about, Jeff?
The show is about how much you love Survivor. It's about how everyone needs to swear fealty to the game of Survivor because they love it so much.
Of course, yes. That's why they haven't cast us yet. It's for no other reason.
Yeah, because we don't talk about how important it is.
So Heidi is afraid of going home with an idol in her pocket. Krylin says that she's emotional, but that helps in this game. Did you agree or disagree with Krylin's assessment that being emo helps?
Yes and no. I don't know. She has no filter, and I think that kind of hurts her. Because I do think that you need to be a little more... You don't have to be calculating. I think it just puts you in positions where, like, Carolyn has flown off the handle multiple times when anything has gone wrong in her game. And it's like, that's not good.
Yes, that's fair. I also feel like, though, they didn't give her a fair shake. Like, she played a really good game, you know?
She did play a really good game. But, I mean, I think she had the thing going that certain players get where people just really liked her, which is, I mean, it's not really a skill. It's kind of unfair to call it that. It's like she's just kind of being herself.
It's actually called a soft skill, but go off.
But yeah, like other people couldn't get away with just being themselves. They would get voted off if they did that. So it's like, I think it's hard to talk about in like an analytical way because a lot of it's really intangible. But like, I mean, I do kind of think that her attachment to the group did kind of end up hurting her a little bit in the end. I think that she kind of needed to cut the cord at a certain point, which she was kind of thinking about doing, but it wasn't for like playing to win reasons. It was because she, like the second that she heard that her name had been discussed, she was like kill mode. Where it's like,
good for her.
I think that's the difference between her and Jam Jam is like Jam Jam is playing to win always.
Yeah, well, Krylin's actually a girl boss. I don't know if you've heard, but that's cool now.
I think the thing that I like about Krylin is that she is not a girl boss. Krylin is just like a person who's doing her best and has been through a lot. I think that is a very admirable and sympathetic thing about her.
What did you think of when Jam Jam tells Lauren when he picks up the challenge immunity necklace that he found the hidden immunity idol? Did you see this little scene between them?
Oh yeah, I thought that was really funny.
It was very good. And as I wrote in my notes, a very good bit.
Yeah, it was very funny.
I was definitely rooting for Krylin to win out over Jam Jam. last week, and in
Couldn't be me.
previous weeks.
Could never be me.
Of course not.
Okay, look, like this is where I said, because I think that people with Carolyn, it becomes a thing where it's like, you know, all the stuff that really annoyed me about her, I actually find really endearing now, and it's like, I think some of it softened for me, and I think I respect her as a player, but like I just still find her annoying, and there's nothing morally wrong with that. That's just how it is. I'm not going to pretend it's any other way. So like I like Jam Jam and Carson better than her. It just comes down to that.
Well,
And you know what? They were playing strategically more than she was, and I think that's the other thing that did it for me.
I'd like to introduce you to a red X in a cage, actually.
The red X in the cage was good, but like I'm skipping ahead here, but the best thing that Carolyn could come up for in terms of saying stuff that she did strategically was stuff that didn't matter. So it's like she was not controlling the game. Like Carson, like Jam Jam and Carson ran that fucking game.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't disagree. What about this reward and immunity challenge where they have to run up 3-story obstacles to collect keys and then do a puzzle after climbing a ladder?
It was a challenge. It was a challenge that they did.
It was. As I wrote here, what does this challenge have to do with survival or braving the elements in any way? What is this? This is nothing. This is when they should do a fire-making challenge, but make a really big fire. You know?
That would be
Biggest
cool.
fire wins. And then,
Well, they have all these blocks that they got to use, so...
Yes. And that's the thing about wood. You can't reuse it in any way once you build a block out of it.
It's true. People don't want to, they don't want to believe that, but that's just the way it is.
Look, regular fire can't melt regular wood.
Yeah, that's a fact. Every scientist will tell you that.
Jeff explains all of the ways you can make it to Final 3 because the Final 4 is unique because you can't be voted out. It's becoming increasingly less unique, Jeffrey.
Yeah, also, unique does not mean good.
This is stupid. It's so stupid that they keep doing this. Vote people out at 4. It's the most pivotal vote. Why would you get rid of it? It's the whole reason the show
It's the fire-making
exists.
show, Jake. This is the fire-making show. Survivor, canceled. Gone. We're done with it. That shit is old news. This show is about making fire. It's the only thing that matters. Everyone's going to make fire. You know, when you think about the show Survivor, you think about everything not mattering until they have to make fire. That's what I want to watch.
I think we should send Jeff Probst episodes of Cowboy TV from Hollywood Handbook, just so he understands how the fire-making show is not fun or interesting.
Wrong.
You know what's fun and interesting?
It's the most fun and the most interesting. It's great. I love watching people strike stuff against a flint and then talk about how they're bad at it or how they're good at it.
You know what? I'm just realizing we were robbed of the Tika 3 having to turn on each other. Heidi had won the only immunity that one of them needed to win to have all Tika Final 3. So one of them had to get voted out in some way, and one of them would have. Or we can watch the person who just won immunity also do another challenge that we've seen people do 1,000 times now.
Yeah, I was
sucks.
bummed about that. It does suck. I was bummed about that. Like, I think it was kind of nice that they never actually had to vote each other off, but like it all coming to a head and a choice having to be made would have been nice. One thing I also want to say, fuck you, Paramount Plus. They do a thing where they autoplay a scene from the show if you hover over it, and the scene that they autoplayed was Heidi talking to the jury. That was the first thing that they showed. What the fuck is your problem?
CBS.com, before they had Paramount Plus, when they uploaded new episodes, the thumbnail was always the person getting their torch snuffed, whoever got voted out that week.
Yeah, like, what the hell?
Why would we do this?
Guess you should have watched it live, bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, idiot. It's one of the few times I tweeted at a corporation and then actually saw a change in the future. So
yeah, it's such an unforced error. Like, you don't. Why would that be the teaser? Is like, well, we're worried people won't want to watch the the fifth person get eliminated. So we're just going to show you who's going to be in front of the jury, and then you can decide to watch or not.
It's like who's considering watching Survivor 44 finale, Survivor 44 finale, excuse me, and being like, well, I'm only going to watch if Heidi makes it to the final three. I'm so worried about Heidi.
Yeah, I got to make sure my girl Heidi gets there.
The least edited person of the entire season. Got to make sure she gets in there somewhere.
Yeah,
like, nothing against Heidi.
I
She
was
played a
really
good game
nervous.
too,
I was really nervous because I was like, and also I feel bad for Heidi because like I think that she is a compelling person, and they just didn't fucking show her do anything the whole season.
She had an alliance with Danny that she tried to turn on and then went back on.
Yeah. The other thing with that is, I think one of the key strategic moves that was discussed was like voting Danny out as a key move. And it's like, that actually wasn't a good key move because it got Heidi to the final three. So like, it was between the two of them and one of them made it to the final three. And like maybe Danny would have had a better chance to win, but I don't think so.
We are so off track, but it is the Survivor 44 finale, so that's understandable. We haven't talked about yet how the winners of this reward challenge will go to the sanctuary where good things happen and eat spaghetti and cake.
Oh yeah, let's go spaghetti time.
I love spaghetti. I love cake. Jeff was really shocked that Carolyn was like, "I love carrot cake."
Yeah, over chocolate cake, that's a normal opinion that I have. So fuck you, Jeff.
Those are like my two favorite kinds of cakes, to be honest. Chocolate
I don't like
carrot.
super heavy cake. Chocolate cakes are always super heavy. Like I like German chocolate cake quite a bit, but generally I'm not like a huge cake person to begin with, but carrot cake is definitely like close to the top for me.
Are you team cake or team spaghetti?
Team spaghetti all the way.
That's good. I do love a chocolate cake, a good moist chocolate cake. Don't know what
didn't say that.
Was. Oh no, a word
my
I've
ears.
heard of.
That word is gross.
You know what other word is gross? A lot of them. Think about it. Vomit, gross.
These snowflakes that don't want to hear the word moist. Grow up.
Beautiful word. Beautiful word.
They're gonna cancel me.
Door.
They're gonna cancel me for this.
They're going to cancel me for saying moist. You can't say anything these days. Most of all, the word moist. Carson wins this challenge and brings Jam Jam. All boys. What were we saying before? Oh.
Oops, all boys.
Before we started the recording. The Benjamin Boys Town. What was it? What was his name?
It was about, we were talking about Benjamin Button Boys.
The Benjamin Button Boys.
Benjamin Button Boys Town would be a fun theme day. Maybe they could have a parade.
What is Boys Town?
In Chicago.
Right. For some reason,
where
I
you
thought it was a
live.
TV show.
Why did I know that you didn't?
When you said Boys Town, for some reason, I was imagining like a Baywatch style show, but it's all boys. Which I guess if you like
Boys Town would be the name
Chicago,
of it would be the name of like a boy band from the late 90s, early 2000s.
That too. Maybe they have a sitcom similar to Baywatch. You know, the Jonas Brothers had a sitcom on the Disney Channel that I never watched, but they all went to school together. Aren't there like 18 years between all of them?
I know that the oldest one that isn't Nick or Joe is a little bit older than the other ones, I think.
So why are they in high school together?
That's a good question. Maybe they're only 4 years apart. Who knows?
No, like they were in the same class, though.
Who knows?
Well, we gotta watch it. Okay, so Joe Jonas is 33. Kevin Jonas is 35. Nick Jonas is 30. Okay, so it's not.
So they're 5 years apart. They're not 4 years, but it's still pretty close.
Maybe they're just all really bad at math, you know?
Maybe one of them, maybe one of them skipped a grade.
Yeah.
Or one of them got held back.
Or both, you know? Maybe that's how they all ended up in the same class at the same time. Maybe they had a hard life because they were on tour so much and recording so much that they were like, oh, we need to go to school all at the same time, and the school's really good. at getting us caught up on everything we need to know for real life. I have no interest in watching the show. I don't know why
Much
I'm
to think
thinking
about.
it. Look, Succession is over. I need a new obsession. So at the sanctuary where good things happen, Carson says in a talking head, "The sanctuary where good things happen." Very good bit from Carson. I love Carson calling out Jeff for how dumb this is.
Yeah, it's good. Carson, I got to tell you, I don't think that I think Carson is my Carolyn for this season in terms of someone that I didn't think I was going to like that grew on me immensely. Love Carson. Love my Carson.
Oh, I didn't realize you were car dad this whole time.
I've been car dad the whole time.
Jam
It got to the point where I was rooting for him pretty hard. I think if he had made the final three, he would have won.
My mom likes him because he is so young. You know how much moms love young men.
Yeah, he is like a little boy. He's a little Benjamin Button boy.
He is. Get him on the basketball court. Jam Jam is thankful for Carson for taking him on a date. That was very cute. Jam Jam recognizes what a big threat Krylin is. Well, too bad. We're not doing that anymore. We're doing fire now. So all of this strategizing that we've been doing for weeks on end,
fake, not real, doesn't matter. It's all about fire. Every time that someone's talking about something else, they should play Fire by Jimi Hendrix over it.
Yes.
Just like, I think the relationships that we've made here, let me stand next to your fire.
They should have like a little Christmas bonfire fireplace in the corner just running at all times, just so you never forget about the fire.
Yeah, they've got it looks like an Applebee's commercial or like a Chili's commercial. They just have a bunch of open flames that there's skillets that peppers and onions are hitting or steaks.
Yeah, the peppers and onions from Chili's hit different when it's the Final Four fire making challenge.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Carson wants to take out Lauren. Yeah, that'll probably happen. What more can we say? At camp, Heidi wonders why Carson took Jam Jam over Krylin. Because they're boys.
Yeah. Dudes rock, that's why. Sorry.
Lauren recognizes she's probably getting targeted. Lauren tells Krylin that Jam Jam was floating her name out there. This is a pretty good move from Lauren, I think. I was like, is she Lorwyn?
It seemed like there was, that's another player that I think if she managed to make it to Final Three had a real good shot.
I think so, too. I think everybody realized that, which is why she went out at 4.
Yep, exactly.
Or 5.
Or at 5, yeah.
Sorry, the final vote out. I'm so used to it being the Final 4. But no, Jeff loves fire. You know what the F and
Jeff saw that, and then he was like...
Jeff stands for Final Four fire making.
Only ending for fire.
Thank you. Lauren Krylin agrees to go with Jam Jam and says she doesn't feel she owes him anything. Wow. Man, they were really building up to something here, weren't they?
Yeah, that was, again, I think that I'd be interested to see how much of this stuff was real and how much was fake, because her being maybe we need more Tika on the jury or whatever was oh, okay, is she just really that mad that she's just going to set this on fire, even though...
Oh, Jeff would love that.
Yeah, he would love that. But I think that's one thing that the Tika Alliance did a really good time is they did a bunch of fake drama amongst themselves to throw people off.
Yeah. Yeah, would have been great. Would have been great to see them have to vote each other out.
The thing really holding it together, though, was Carson, because Carson never even once considered writing either of their names down, which, good for him.
He was definitely the one to keep them all level-headed and on the same page at all time. He had a really good relationship with both of them. I think if it had just been those two...
Oh, it would have fallen apart.
Have lasted as long.
Yeah, we already saw what that looked like when it fell apart.
Yeah,
it was going to happen. Carson was the stabilizing force.
Yeah, when he went over to Ratu, I think they were at each other's throats then too, weren't they? For
Yeah,
like those
Carson
2 or
was
3 days.
he was the load-bearing member of that alliance.
Yeah, yeah, man, really good group of guys there. The
Yeah,
Three,
I
the
agree.
Three Stooges. I also love that they called themselves the Three Stooges. Like that really got me on their side immediately. I was like, that's good, that's fun. Sham Jam feels awkward when they return. Carson tells the other Tikas that he's voting for Lauren. Good boy. Goodest boy. Jam Jam tries to convince Lauren to vote for Krylin, though. She goes looking for an idol, though, comparing it to hide and seek. There's 2 things in Modern Survivor, fire and analogies. And we love them both here on Did You Watch Survivor Last Night?
Yeah, don't get no better than that.
So then Carson decides to target Heidi. Okay. Like, we just needed a third subplot, I guess, because just in case. Anyway. Lauren complains at Tribal Council that no one was talking to her all day. So Krylin and Heidi defend themselves. And Carson says, maybe Lauren should have talked to me. You love this fucking nerd?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, Lauren, I appreciated her bluffing here to try and save herself, but yeah, it just wasn't, it didn't work.
Yeah, I was really rooting for her here. I would have loved to see the Tika 3 turn on each other at 5 instead of 4. And then Lauren, sweeps up the mess and wins out. That would have been really fun to see. But I understand why they had to do what they did. Let's see, anything else of note happening? Oh, Lauren says, I'm so proud of who I've become. And Jeff's mind is blown. He loves that.
Yeah, this was a lot of like cutting over to Jamie who was crying or whatever. This was really nice. I mean, the thing with this is this was a really nice, it's weird to, there's 2 very distinct parts to this, which is one, it is a very nice, sincere, kind of heartwarming thing, and I thought it was very inspiring to talk about her journey that way. Also, she gave a winning final tribal closing speech, which immediately sealed that she was going to get voted off because everyone saw right there, like, oh, she's going to win if she gets to the end. We got to get her out of here.
As I wrote in my notes before they went up to vote, I said, it's a nice speech, ... Maybe too nice.
Yeah, like you can't give a winning final tribal speech and stick around because people can tell.
Yeah. I think she just knew.
She knew she was going anyway. This was basically her send-off, so it was a very nice send-off.
Since jury members don't get their final speeches anymore, she had to do it here. They vote, and then when Jeff asks for any final advantages or idols, Lauren pretends to have an idol. Good bit from Lauren. I appreciated that a lot.
Love it. Nice little bit of Josh in there. We love to see that.
Yeah. So Lauren is voted out 3-1 to 1. I expected it. It was sad, but what you gonna do? We get then into the next community challenge immediately. Love that. We don't need camp life, Jeff. It's the final 4. What do they have to talk about? Who's gonna make fire? It's emotion. That's all we care about here.
I'm always happy to see some motion. I mean, they do it for this like every time now, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think it's a great challenge. I feel like they didn't do a great job with the editing this time because one of the best things about Samotion, in my opinion, is the like grinding of those balls against the metal tracks. That's like hypnotizing sound, and they didn't really focus on that as much this week or this year. So that was kind of missed by me, but overall, love to see it. Krylin cries at the view of where the challenge takes place.
Krylin cries at her crying. She got stuck into an Ouroboros of crying.
We need to write our own Survivor Mad Lib called Krylin Cries. And it's just every noun or activity or verb is a blank. And then it's Krylin Cries at, So that's fun. You know, we'll work on that.
Yeah, it's good. So there's definitely something there. We just gotta. We got a lump of coal there, but we can see a diamond inside of it.
Okay. At one point, Jeff comes to get Carson's immunity necklace, and he says, "I'm coming for it." Inappropriate, Jeff. Don't say that shit.
Yeah, come on.
We can
What a
say
creep.
it, obviously. We could make those jokes because we're a lewd podcast about your dumbass show.
I would
fire-making show.
I would love to go on Survivor and just be like, is this guy bothering you every time Jeff talks to someone?
Good guy Tom. Hey, that's another old meme, remember? Happy Memory
Yeah, good guy
Day.
Tom. And it's a picture of me.
Yeah.
It's like, this is your friend Tom. He's nice.
Heidi wins and then publicly announces that she is considering making fire. Okay. So
Yeah,
then they go back to
it finally happened. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
They all practice fire. Great stuff. Love to see this. It's so much fun to see people doing the same shit they were doing on episode 1. Rather than, growing and, conniving and deceiving each other. And that's not why we tune in. We turn it into fire-making show for fire. We
I want to
love
watch the fire making. Yeah, the fact that we even got like a couple salvageable moments out of this part, because it was literally like a half hour of the show. It was ridiculous. But we did get, I thought that Jam Jam and Carolyn talking to each other while making fire was kind of nice, where that you could tell they really liked each other, but it does kind of feel like Shannon Ricard a little bit, where it was like two people that really liked each other, but were like, I'm going to beat you.
Yes, 100%. That's a great comparison.
And then Jam Jam helping Carson out with the fire was genuinely really sweet. And it was like it's a big thing that he can rest on for his game, because like a lot of him being like a nice sociable person was used. I'm not going to say weaponized, because like everybody does this in the game, but it was used in a more calculated way for him. There was nothing to gain from it. Like, he was just doing it because he liked Carson and they were friends. And I thought that was really sweet.
I really liked that too. Did you notice when Carson was having trouble getting the flame initially before Jam Jam was helping him? He said he was not confident in himself. That's just a guarantee he's at it for, in my opinion.
Has Carson secretly listened to our podcast? Because there's a couple pitfalls that Carson avoided, or things that we do that he did, where it's like maybe Carson. I mean, I hope not, because then the YWSL and bump will no longer be valid. But
yeah, I
think maybe we're just kindred spirits.
That could be. This is a podcast for nerds by nerds. Not us, technically. It's like the people behind Podbean that, host the show. Those are the nerds. We're cool guys. We won an award for it. But I think a lot of nerds do like our brand of humor for some reason. So it's also, honestly, jokes aside, it's weird that there aren't more comedy Survivor podcasts. This show's fucking stupid. You all realize that, right?
It's the most important thing in the world, Jake.
Thomas, no, I'm talking about Survivor, not the fire-making show. That's the most important thing in the world. Survivor's a silly show for silly guys.
No, it's important, and it actually says a lot about society if you think about it.
That's the fire-making show.
Oh, damn it.
It's a different show. They backdoor piloted us into the fire-making show a few years ago. And we were none the wiser, but now we're here. So at the Final Four Tribal Council, Heidi says she hasn't made a decision yet. And Jam just says he likes fire because he's a pyro. Krylan says they all feel pretty confident. So you knew then Krylan wasn't winning. Carson says he's nervous and recommends Heidi puts herself in. Great move from Cardad's son.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like the suggestion of it. From a strategic perspective, I get it, but I think that alone is a reason to get rid of it, because it just becomes a resume padding thing.
Yeah, and that was never the intention when Jeff introduced it.
It's supposed to be a punishment.
He's always said it's to let the big time players, the big threats, have one final shot to make it to the end. but no offense to Heidi, I don't think she was a big time threat, big time player who was gonna get voted out because she had just won immunity. Like, if anything, it should have been like Jam Jam and Carolyn going up against each other.
Yeah, the thing with it, though, is it does, if your resume is
Jam
not
Jam
quite
Carson.
good enough, it gives you a chance to make another big move. So, like, I don't
But it's
blame...
not a big move.
It isn't,
That's
but,
not
like,
a big move.
But people think it is. It's perceived as a big move.
As a viewer, I perceive it as desperate.
Yeah, but it is. But also, like, everyone on the show treats it like, whoa, this is like a crazy big deal. But
That's a good point.
But yeah, like
I forgot this was the fire making show now.
the thing with the fire making is that it just creates. I love using this term, but it creates perverse incentives. Like it's. I totally. I think it was a rational move based on where her game was for Heidi to do it, just because she knew she didn't have enough on her resume to win. But that choice should not be available to her.
Yeah. I understand that. I don't think that would be a terrible change to make in the game. If you win immunity, congratulations, you're in Final 3. You don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah, you should
don't have to
not
worry
be
about fire
allowed
making.
to give up immunity if you win final immunity.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad call. Jeff probably wouldn't like it though because he loves the fire.
No, this is what he
if they-
wants. He wants people to do this every season now.
Well, clearly he's been doing it for 10 seasons now. Even though it's bad and people yell at him every time, he's just more indignant. Okay, so Krylin is the first in the final 3. Okay. And Jeff asks her what message she has for all the weird girls out there. It's okay to be weird, she says. Pretty inspiring stuff. Wouldn't have that without the fire.
Carolyn taught me it was okay to be weird.
Thank you. Finally. Thank you, Carolyn. So fire making is going to be Carson versus Heidi. Jam Jam is speechless. Heidi wins in the fastest time of all time.
I felt really bad for Carson because he actually did pretty well. He just got beaten by somebody who did amazingly.
Yeah.
Like if he was going up against a regular or like a, middle of the road fire maker, he would have won because he was getting going pretty well, but she just had way too big a head start on him.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we don't get to see that.
This was enormously disappointing.
Do you know how much I would have loved for Heidi? Thomas, we got to do it. I heard you open
That's right.
that can.
Bottles in the ice, like a blizzard.
What you got there?
Ooh, just a little, just Michigan Things Verner's ginger soda.
Ooh, that is delicious.
The original ginger soda.
Oh, is that what it says?
That's what it says right on there. And then it's got a little, like, leprechaun-looking guy, and it's got a barrel with a seal around it that says authentic bold taste.
That's pretty tasty. Is it tasty?
Oh, it's one of the best sodas. I think that's just a fact.
I'm, of course, also drinking something delicious. It's known as water.
One of the best beverages.
drinking it
One
all
of the
the
best kinds of water. Water.
Yeah. When it comes to water, my favorite is water. What you like? Tap water, bubbly water, flavored water, sparkling water.
You're like Trump
Boiling water.
when he people were asking him about you remember when he bought all the fast food for all the beautiful football players, right?
Of course. How could I
When
forget?
people were like, "What's your favorite out of this stuff?" and he just goes, "I like them all. It's all good stuff." That's how you feel about water.
That's not even close to true, but I take your point. So back at camp, they're all stressed, and then we hear from each jury member about each finalist. Sure thing. It's pretty nice. Did anyone say anything of note to you?
To me,
Yeah, did anybody call you up and be like, hey, this is who I was voting for when I gave that speech?
I didn't get. Unfortunately, maybe it got lost in the mail.
Delete your voicemails, Maybe somebody's trying to call you.
It went to
leave a message.
spam or something. Yeah, my inbox was full.
Oh, yeah. I got an email recently from a prospective job, and they were like, I tried to leave you a message, but your voicemail was full. And I was like, oh, thanks for letting me know. Pretty cool guy. Thomas, let's talk about these wildlife shots. We had crabs, we had ants, we had bird, we had snake, we had bottlenose dolphin. We've, of course, talked bottlenose dolphin in the past. So you're on the hot seat. Tomas, what color are they?
Are they gray?
Correct. That's 1 point for Tomas. How much do they weigh?
150 pounds.
You might want to add more to that.
200 pounds.
There are... 200 pounds are within this animal's body, yes.
250 pounds.
You are not bumping it up enough each time.
300 pounds.
A little more.
350 pounds.
The range is 330 to 1430 pounds.
Wow, okay.
Average of 660 pounds. How big do you think?
Are we talking about like length?
Length, yeah. How long?
8 feet.
6.5 to 13 feet. Ding. You got it. What reason are they called bottlenose dolphins?
Because they're dolphin. Because their snouts aren't they like flat on the top, like the bottom of a dang bottle?
Their noses look like bottles. Yeah, and also don't bother me. I'm dolphin. Like a I'm golfing bumper sticker.
Oh yeah, okay.
What about a dolphin playing golf?
Dolphin golfing.
Okay. Now there's a show for ABC in the summer. Where are you going to find these bad boys?
The ocean.
Correct. True or false? Their brains are bigger than humans' brains.
False.
True. How many individuals live in a pod together?
Dolphin polycule.
So. The answer has 3 different options, so, it's a pretty wide range.
Okay, I'm going to say 10.
It's usually around 15, as many as 100 or even 1,000 at some times.
Oh, wow.
So I think you're 2 for 5 now. What do they eat?
They eat fish.
Eels, squid, shrimp, and a wide variety of fishes. Point for you. Do they chew their food, you think?
No, I think they just swallow it whole.
They do indeed. And are they polygamous or monogamous?
Polygamous.
You did mention the polycule earlier because you knew they were polygamous. And how long is a baby?
How long is a baby?
How long is a baby a baby?
Oh, okay, so you're not asking like how long
boys.
in feet they are.
No, I'm asking how long in feet they are.
2 feet.
This is also 2.5 to 4.5 feet long. I'll give you the point for that. That's close enough. It's just feet. It's just a few inches, And final question, where do you think they rank in the IUCN Red List?
Least concern.
Correct. So I think you got about 50%. This isn't school, so good job. At Final Tribal Council, Jeff explains how normally they do this in separate sections, but sometimes they overlap. So, Kane, why don't you start us off? What if Kane just gave a speech about his experience, and then they answered a question from him, and it could be about Dungeons and Dragons even?
Yeah, so in Dungeons and Dragons, Jeff's kind of like the dungeon master. What class would you say you are?
That would be a good question, genuinely. What class would you say you are in real life, Thomas? In D&D? We know what race you are. You're a human. Me too.
I'm a rogue, I guess.
I'm a druid.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what the final 3 answer would be like. Yeah, Kane would come up and be like, what class are you? And Carolyn would be like, middle upper, I guess? So that'd be funny. But instead, Kane asks about perception. Jam Jam talks about how he always knew every vote. Heidi tries to say they were riding coattails of Soka. And Jam Jam's like, yeah, that's what we wanted you to think. Very, very good twisting of her answer to be in favor of Jam Jam there. That was so funny. He's like, obviously, Where are your friends? All of my friends are still here.
Yeah, Jam Jam was the one who had, of these three, that had to do the least spin of his game by far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Krylan talks about being the quirky kid who's underestimated and then connects with Carson and Jam Jam. This is a nice story. Heidi seems very defensive right off the bat, says Tika was always on a high, and Jam Jam says, no, we took advantage of all of the lows that we found ourselves in until we got to the end. Jam Jam says that he used Carson to gain information, but to be fair, he used everyone in that way. He did a really good job answering every single question.
This is one of the best Final Tribal performances I've ever seen, just period. Like, he was super composed, but it didn't feel like a put on. It didn't feel like he was spinning anything. Every answer felt incredibly honest. He was funny. Like, Jam Jam is just one of the best social players of all time.
I am shocked that they didn't try to get him out earlier. Like, he was... I mean, maybe just it's different when he's talking to you specifically. You're like, I don't want to get rid of this guy. But it just seems so obvious from our perspective. Like, he's going to win. All
three of the Tika Alliance should have had more people coming after them. Because did Carson even get a single vote?
I think he might have. Let me see. I don't remember, though. I don't know. It's hard to remember who gets what votes. I have to check every day to remember. Let's see. God, there's so much information once the season's over. Carson. Doesn't look like Carson ever got any votes.
That's a real shame to go off of a show that you never received a single vote on.
Isn't that what happened to... What's her name last season? Who lost fire last season?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to remember. Jesse
Lopez. Yes. Did Jesse ever receive votes? Yeah, Jesse would have won too. Wow. So maybe the final immunity challenge or final fire making challenge is a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe it's bad that you eliminated two like all-time great players, because Jesse was an incredible player.
Yeah, Jesse never received a vote either.
Yeah, but it was all good because Gabler won and deserved it, right?
We got the Gables, Cassidy, and Owen in the final three. The three most compelling characters of all the seasons. It's that season especially. Survivor 43. It happened. That should be the slogan for that season. Okay, what happened in this season that was good by the end? Krylan talks about how when you're an addict, you hold things in, so it's hard for her to continue to do that now that she's sober. That's fair. She lists all the things that make her cry as if we needed more reason to call her Krylan. It's a good nickname. I just want to say, of all the nicknames we've ever given people, pretty good one.
Pretty good.
Jam Jam talks about picking up on other people's emotions and watch how people's eyes twinkled when they talked about something they loved. I think this strategy is just like a winning strategy every time.
Yeah, it's great. It definitely shows an emotional perceptiveness. Like you don't think about it that way, but it's like, yeah, you get to know people, when they're being sincere, and then you can use that against them because when they're not being sincere talking about gameplay moves.
Yep. Heidi, though, she says she wants to represent Latino women in science.
I thought that this is the thing with this is like, I don't want to, this is meaningful to the contestants or whatever, but we are getting every single season now. I feel like the producers are almost nudging people to be like, say that you're the first X to do this. You would be the first X winner. Mm-hmm. And so I appreciated Jam Jam immediately. This was one of the best lines Jam Jam had the whole Tribal Council, where he say he would be the first Puerto Rican man this season to win.
I think he would be the first Puerto Rican man to win, though, to be honest. I don't remember exactly everybody who's ever won the game because this show's been on for 100 years.
It works pretty well either way.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. Jam Jam says, my whole family is physical, but I was just a kid who watched TV. Jam, come on the show. That's what we do. That was our whole thing as kids, too. You just talk about cat dog. Okay, so I saw my parents this weekend for Memorial Weekend, and my dad said he couldn't tell the difference between cat and dog on Cat Dog. I was like, what are you talking about?
Ridiculous.
One of them looked like a cat and one looked like a dog.
This is kindergarten stuff.
It was so weird. It's like, of all the weird takes from your dad, that's a big one. What else happens? Heidi points out she would be the oldest female winner to win, so let's make history. Stop trying to make history at this point. She tried... I feel like Krylin right now. Krylin expected to be great at challenges, but she kept screwing up. And she tried to use positive self-talk after getting her son's letter, because that's what she teaches him. This was nice also. Krylin should have won. Krylin should have gotten some votes. Carson starts listing all of the numbers of all the statistics and everybody's correct votes down to the decimal point. Nerd shit.
Yeah, it sounds like you.
I don't do the decimal points. I round up, baby. Not a fucking nerd. Krylin perfectly explains her car stepson's idol play. That's funny. Her car stepson?
Yes, her car stepson. By the way, I just want to point out, because I don't know if we really talked about it much this season, I love Carson's stupid little NASA font that he writes all of his votes with. It's great.
Oh, I didn't even notice that was him.
It just looks nice, too. It's like...
Yeah.
Man, Carson. I'm really glad Jam won. It would have been, honestly, I'm glad that one of them went out before Final Tribal, because it would have been hard to see either of them lose at Final Tribal. To be honest, I really thought they both played excellent games.
Nerd solidarity from Tomas. Jam says he's here to have fun, but he still wants to win. Hey, me too. That's a good reason to vote for somebody. Heidi says she's living the American dream. Heidi is voting the American dream. What are you voting for this October?
The American dream.
American dream. Yeah. Dusty Rhodes for president. Sorry? What's that? Oh, Dusty Rhodes is dead? Cody Rhodes for president.
Heidi is living the American nightmare.
What current wrestler would you vote for president if they were all running for president together?
Man, that's really tough because they're all carnies. You shouldn't trust a carny in something like politics. I would probably say either Daniel Bryan or Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn would be good. I would vote for Mustafa Ali because he's from where I'm from. Chicago.
You love Cops.
I love Cops. The TV show. But also The Profession, Back the Blue. Before his usual, I'll go get the votes, Jeff makes weird eye contact and says, shall I? Yeah, it's your fucking job. Go get the votes, dude. What was that? I hated it. Jeff's too excited to be on Survivor.
Get him out of there.
Jeff is the Survivor god in that he made every contestant in his image, in that they're all fucking Survivor nerds now.
It's true. Yeah, they really are casting to that. There was a Defector article that somebody wrote where it was just people, staff writers that had watched the show, just talking to each other basically. And at one point they said that Jam should host the show, and I agree with that. And the other thing, so I think someone in the comments said that Jeff is a very good host and a bad showrunner.
Yeah, that's long been the common take. I think that's totally fair. The show was great the first 18, 19, 20 seasons whenever he took over. And it's just been slowly getting away from what it initially was. It's just like holding on by a thread. Anyway, Jam won 5-1-0. Good for Jam.
Let's go.
Jam, not Jam, different J name. Jeff is very excited when... Jeff is very excited when one of the PAs brings the pizza out and he says, I'll take that, let me pass it out. Get out of here, man. You know, like,
Had enough of this guy.
yeah. Matt says he and Franny have more chemistry than a fire. You know Jeff loved that. The last note I have from this weird reunion thing was Jeff asked Danny, what brought you to tears? Didn't write down Danny's response. What brought you to tears, Thomas?
What didn't bring me to tears? I was crying at the whole dang thing. Yeah, I don't know. So Danny was the one person that voted for Heidi, right?
Yeah, because they're friends.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was surprised Franny didn't vote for Krylan, to be honest.
I was a little bit too. Maybe they just thought Jam Jam played a better game. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that argument makes a lot of sense. So this week, of course, we made all these predictions for the finale, and we got most of them wrong. Last week I had 28 points. Last week you had 28 points. I had 36 points. Do you know Survivor 28? Off the top of your head, do you know which one that one was?
I don't.
I believe that was Cagayan. Do you know what Survivor 36 was?
Was that Karong?
I believe it was Ghost Island.
It's Ghost Island, okay.
Don't come after me, Survivor nerds. That's not what this show is about. Carson won immunity, which I made that prediction, so I got a point for that. You predicted Lauren would win immunity. She never did. In fact, she got voted out first in the finale. Carson also took 4th place and lost in fire, so I got a point for that. Jam Jam did not lose in fire making. He, in fact, won the whole game, which is kind of making a fire in its own right. Krylan did take 3rd place, though, so you got that right. And that's the last thing either of us got right. So you finished the game with 29 points. I got a solid 38, which means I get first pick next season, should I want it. In the meantime, next week we're starting... Do you know what we're starting, Thomas?
What are we starting?
Even though we talked about it a million times already.
It's always nice to have a refresher.
We are going to begin, finally, what many people call the best season of Survivor of all time. That's not even close to true, but it's up there. It's Survivor Race Wars.
Oh, thank you.
It's also called Cook Islands, apparently. I know we don't like to reference him on this show, but the Know-It-Alls host, who is not Stephen Fishback, made a very good joke about the new era in Cook Islands. He said the spirit of Cook Islands is alive with the new era winners. It's like, I didn't even notice that. That's a really good point. Because, Cook Islands separated the tribes into 4 different races. A very normal, cool thing to do on a reality show.
Yeah, it's normal, cool guy stuff.
Normal, cool guy when Jeff was good stuff. So we're going to start that next week. Can't wait. It's going to be great. We're going to be like, oh man, remember when Survivor was fun? Anyway, Thomas, do you have this week's Probst quiz up already, or do you need me to send it to you?
No, I do. I have it because one was sent to me, and I have DM'd it to you.
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty.
Oh, we got a quiz. The quiz is, here's how long you would last on Survivor. Have we done this quiz before?
I'm not sure if we have.
I feel like I saw a similar quiz at one point, but I don't think we've done it.
These are all kind of similar in one way or another.
They're all kind of similar, but this one I see is especially long. I have all of the ones that we've done so far. Do you want to hear those?
Yes.
Can you guess the Survivor season? It's time to see what label you get from the fans. Answer 8 questions and we'll reveal which Survivor contestant you are. Design a theme park and we'll reveal what reality show you're destined to win. If you tell us a bit about yourself, then we can determine which competitive reality show you should go on. This Survivor test was determined... Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Best possible contestants from the next season. I don't think this is...
This one is very similar to ones we've had, but I don't think we've done it.
It's time to see what label you get from... Oh, that's the one we did twice. And then, of course, what kind of rat are you and what kind of snake are you? Did we ever do what kind of snake are you?
I don't know if we did.
Well, here's a quotes quiz for next week. Watch us do the same quiz again.
It would be really funny if we did the same quiz like 10 times.
Like every other month, we're like, this seems familiar. Well, you've made it through the casting process of Survivor, and the producers want you on the show. You depart for filming in just a few short days. What will you miss most while you're away? My job or school, technology, proper hygiene, showering, sleeping in a bed, running water, family and friends, food. Oh, I know my answer, Thomas. Do you know yours?
I would definitely say probably food.
Yeah, me too. You need food to live. You don't need family, friends, sleeping in bed, running water.
Proper
like
hygiene.
that. No. Need food, though. Let the games begin. Your buff is on, and you've been assigned to a tribe. What's the first thing you do arriving at camp? Seek out potential alliances. What's that word? Seek out potential alliances.
Potential islandses.
Did I say islandses?
You
Like
should.
an
This
alliance on
MF
an
said
island?
islandses.
Strategize by yourself. You need to make a solid plan before you involve anyone else. I feel like you could have just said strategize by yourself. We need to give credit to Julia Brown for this quiz. 720 points. Wonder why. Gather your entire tribe to form a game plan. Start building shelters. Sunbathe on the beach. Look for an idol. Get to know everyone. Search for food and water. I feel like building a shelter is probably your best option here, right?
Yeah, it seems like it. Let's see though. I'm gonna say get to know everyone.
Oh, yeah. I know how much of a social butterfly you are. Unfortunately, your tribe loses the first immunity challenge. Who do you vote off? Probably Boston Rob.
Definitely Boston Rob.
The one who performed worse than challenges, the suspicious one. We can't let him get to that Grand Slam. The one who hasn't done anything back in camp. The one who seems like they'll be a threat later on. The bossy one, whoever...
The bossy one. Boston Rob.
Is that oh, yeah. Whoever everyone votes for, the one who doesn't seem interested in getting to know anyone, whoever I feel like. I gotta go with the bossy one, right?
Yeah, I'm going bossy one.
Oh, man. All of our answers have been the same so far. I'm just curious how this is going to turn out. Your other tribe members see you as strategic, quiet but kind, the middleman, the floater, the strongest, the weakest, intimidating ringleader. I'm going to say the floater for me. I feel like I'm really good at like being friends with everybody, and like nobody would even suspect me turning on them.
I'll say middleman.
I don't really know what the difference between middleman and floater is, so I guess we'll see when we get to the end. Congratulations, your tribe just won a reward challenge. Pick your ideal reward. Yes, Julia Brown. This is the kind of thing we want. Cookies and brownies, a secret advantage, a barbecue for the whole tribe, complete with ice-cold beer, a shower, toothbrush, and toothpaste, chickens, pillows and blankets, fishing gear, or letters from family members. This is a lot of options.
I'm going to say barbecue with ice cold beer.
I do like a barbecue with ice-cold beer, obviously. I'm a man, of course. I feel like chickens is probably the better option here, though. You can get eggs and chickens if you want them. You find a hidden immunity idol, what do? Use it to blindside your closest ally. Rude. Use it to blindside the player who's trying to rally others to vote for you. No. Give it to a strong player to save them in hopes that it will solidify an alliance between you two. Carson and Carson's stepmom. Cryvana. Thank you. Okay. Tell everyone in my tribe I'm so excited. Use it immediately. Tell my closest alliance so we can figure out what to do with it together. Save it for later. Give it to my ally to save them. What are you doing, Thomas?
I am probably going to save it for later.
I do love a Natalie Anderson move, so I'm going to blindside my closest ally. Your tribe loses the immunity challenge. You have a feeling that the others are planning to vote you out. What do you do when you get back to camp? Use an idol I found to save myself. Just got that one. Argue with my tribe. They didn't even give me a chance. Hope for the best. I have an idol, but I'm not playing it. Try to initiate a blindside. I'm not going down without a fight. Nothing. In all honesty, I wouldn't mind some food and a shower. Expose people. Swap alliances. Fly my vote. Whatever it makes it to the top. Whatever it takes to make it to the top. Look for an idol. You already have an idol that you don't want to use.
What if you want two idols?
Beg people to let me in and use my vote as an extra vote to get the numbers up. I mean, it's a good strategy.
I'm going to try to initiate a blindside, I think.
I did just say I would blindside my ally, though. I'm going to expose people, swap my vote, burn it all down. You know how much Jeffrey loves fire these days. The time has come to drop your buffs. It's swapping tribes. As you're at your new camp seeking out potential new alliances, you decide to go for the person who seems talkative, funny, creative, athletic, intelligent, loyal, competitive, trustworthy.
I'm going to say trustworthy.
Smart. I'm going to say loyal.
Pretty similar choices.
Yeah, but mine's better.
Yeah, okay.
I want a Carson, you know? I need a Carson to my Jam Jam. The competition is getting tougher, and your alliances want to make a big move. What role are you playing? The ringleader. I'm just going along with it. I genuinely don't care as long as it's not me. The one who follows through with the plan and then immediately cries back at camp. The enthusiastic co-leader. The one who comes up with another plan. I have a secret alliance on the other side I don't want to vote off. The loyal but cautious follower. There's so many archetypes on Survivor. The one who swaps their vote and exposes the plan to the others. And I'm going to do my own thing and not listen to anyone. What? I'm bad at Survivor.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say enthusiastic co-leader.
I'm going to be the one who swaps their vote and exposes the plan. I'm a little stinker, you know? What type of challenge would you do the best in? Strength, swimming, puzzles, speed, balance, trivia, something gross like bug eating, teamwork exercises.
Trivia.
Teamwork exercises. I'll yell to the blindfolded people.
Yeah, you'll be the caller.
I'll be the caller. You just hit the merge. Hey, congratulations to us. And unfortunately, odds are against you. Lack of congratulations to us. What's the first thing you do when you get back to camp? Try to stir the pot, remain hopeful, cry, do everything possible to align with the other tribe members. Scream at Jeff for doing this to me. Kill them with kindness or a blindside. If that fails, bust my ass to try to get ahead and rely on my ability to win at the next immunity challenge.
Very tempted to scream at Jeff for doing this to me, but I think I'm going to kill him with kindness or a blindside.
Do everything possible to align with other tribe mates. Yeah, that's a pretty good move. Congratulations, you just won an individual immunity. This was probably last gasp when they let two people win. What are you going to do when you get back to camp? Asking my alliances for their thoughts so we can be on the same page for tribal council. Using my immunity as a way to try and intimidate the other castaways. Joining in on a big move. Sunbathing. Staying quiet but observing everything. I don't want to miss something important. Initiate a blindside. Join in on conversation. See what everyone's thinking. Stir the pot against people just for funsies. I do like funsies.
Going to say staying quiet but observing everything.
I'm going to be stirring the pot, obviously. What's the biggest strength you bring to the game? Manipulation. Speed, smarts, physical strength, athleticism, strategy, resourcefulness, likability.
Smorts.
I'm going to say likability. Everybody loves me. I'm such a nice guy. What's your biggest weakness or setback in the game? Hunger. What is this, the Hunger Games? No, this is the fire-making show. Struggling in challenges, lack of sleep, homesickness, impulsivity, weak alliances, playing it too safe, swimming.
I'd say probably playing it too safe.
I would probably say impulsivity if I know myself at all. I'm going out first, I can already tell.
Yeah, I would hang around for a little while, but I think I'd be too risk averse to make big moves.
You're a regular Laurel from Ghost Island. It's been months since you left the island, and this season of Survivor has concluded. It's finally about to air on TV. What will fans remember you for? My kindness, my intensity, my kick-ass performance and challenges, my loyalty, my huge blindsides, my unexpected risky moves, my competitivity, and courage, my humor.
Jake, I love humor.
I love humor. I love to laugh, to be honest. I actually have a sign in my bathroom. It says, live, laugh, love. I love to laugh so much. I'm going to say my humor, obviously. What are you saying?
What? Sorry, I was too distracted by it showing me what I got. I didn't hear what you said.
What did you say people will remember you for?
My humor. That's why I said I love humor.
Oh, I thought you were just making fun of me for saying my humor.
No, I was also saying my humor.
I'm saying my humor. We can't both be the funny guy on the season of Survivor, Thomas.
That's going to be what that'll be the showdown between alliances. Like, who's funny? You can only pick one.
The fire-making showdown. So I played an incredibly strong game, but unfortunately I fell victim to a blindside and was voted off.
Hey, me too. Somehow we did this to each other at the same time.
2 people got voted out.
We both were the 8th one voted out.
So here's what happened, I think. We both won last gasp, because sometimes 2 people can win that, apparently. And then we both gave up immunity to other people in our alliances, and then we both got voted out.
Tough
we
break.
Eric Reichenbach'd Great quiz. I loved how detailed it was.
Yeah, this one was very thorough.
I love how all of the related quizzes are how long would you survive on other shows?
What kind of shows are we talking?
Mostly Stranger Things.
Okay, yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah. Only 50% of people could survive Stranger Things Season 4. Well, I didn't survive Stranger Things Season 3, so... Thomas, what's your Twitter?
You can follow me
if you're on that yet.
You can follow me at Tom Not Tom. Barry and Succession are over, so I don't know what TV I'm going to talk about, but I'm here. And Survivor and Yellow Jackets, so got to find new shows.
Well, Survivor Race Wars we're doing next week.
We are going to talk about Survivor Race Wars.
This week, I guess, now. Man, yeah. Summer then. Going to be busy. Got about 1,600 weddings this summer, so it's going to be a lot of Marquesas Mondays, I'll guess.
Yeah, I think we got some busy weekends coming up for both of us.
We've never tried a Fiji Friday.
Fiji Friday?
Yeah. Would you be willing to watch Survivor within 2 days of air?
That's you're asking a lot.
Ask.
I know. Well, it's also an old season, so
that's true. So like 2 days and several years after it aired.
Still a big ask.
So do you know who wins Survivor Cook Islands before we start it? Without seeing who's on it?
I would have to see who the cast... I don't off the top of my head. I might figure it out once I see who the cast is.
It's a lot of MVPs. A lot of people who came back for future seasons. So you'll be excited. You can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN or on YouTube at The Only Fun Survivor Podcast. We're getting a lot of new subscribers on that. Somebody said they subscribed. Somebody else said we're very funny. So
I'm glad to hear that.
Validating.
Was it a recent episode or was it an old one?
No, it was just a comment on a post that I posted because I said I'm sorry for clogging all of your feeds.
Yeah, that is honestly like major respect to who actually subscribed to that, because it's like here's 100 episodes.
Here's nearly 500 episodes of shows from almost 10 years ago. But they said we're funny. I'm sorry I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But it's very nice that people are finally engaging with us. Thomas, if people wanted to engage with our YouTube comments, what would they write? We're gonna cut some slack for this commenter because we don't have a comment script for posts. But if you were to comment something on a video, version of this podcast.
I've changed this a couple
on
times. I
YouTube.
don't remember what the last thing I said was. I know very funny was one of them, right?
Yes. So this is the new official one. Go for it.
What is the new? I don't remember what the other thing I said was. Maybe that was better.
Yeah, it's not better unless you don't say anything right now.
I don't know what I.
Don't say any of this. All you have to say is, haha, very funny. And if you want to make a smiling or laughing emoticon, you're free to do so.
Haha, very funny. You can also put a smiley face.
Ha ha ha, very funny.
Oh, sorry.
Ha ha, very funny. We said sound sarcastic.
Ha ha ha, very funny. You
And
can
we
do a
would
smiley
never
face.
be
It
sarcastic on this
can be a
show.
winky face, no 8 Ds, I believe is what it was.
Yeah. I'll even accept an XD. Disney XD.
Yeah, an XD is fine.
We also have some Patreon shows. We have a lot of new listeners on YouTube, so maybe they don't know. Thomas, do you want to shout out any of the tiers on YouTube?
Do we have YouTube tiers? I didn't.
When I said YouTube, I meant Patreon, excuse me. We do have YouTube tiers. They're old seasons. I separated them into different playlists, but they're called playlists, not tiers. So
Okay,
I misspoke
yeah.
on multiple ways.
We had YouTube tiers because we're crying for how grateful we are about
Yeah, we're the
people
Krylin of
engaging.
YouTubers.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Krylin cries about. I'll shout out. We got some new YouTube people, so I'll just throw out Just Joey.
Yes. Just Joey was the initial podcast that we opened up our Patreon for. So to new listeners, Just Joey is available at patreon.com/justpodcasts. Thomas, did you want to thank the fans?
Would love
We've
to
got all
thank
these
the
new
listeners.
fans on
Thank you,
YouTube.
listeners.
That's right. New listeners should know if you want to be a fan, that's also available on our Patreon. We have a tier for that. And at that point, we'll call you fans. You have to give us 4 stars, though. If you're not a fan, you have to give us 5 stars.
Do we
On
want to put
Apple.
a new option available there for people to thumbs? I guess thumbs down aren't public, but in order to thumbs down us, you have to pay a certain amount.
Thumbs down 3,000. For $3,000, you can give us a thumbs down on YouTube.
Because it doesn't matter that other people won't see it. We will see it, and it'll make us sad.
We will see it. We've gotten 100% upvotes or thumbs up on most of our videos that have received recognition from the YouTube audience, except one person disliked one of our videos. Let me try to find it. Let me try to find the
Let
one
me know.
that
Yeah,
somebody
we're coming
disliked.
for you.
Cause
Just know. Is it
I
anonymous when you
disagree.
get a dislike?
If it isn't, I don't know how to figure that out.
I guess I don't really want to know who did it, but just know that I will destroy you in some way or another.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on YouTube right now, and they're promoting the NBA Finals Game 7 or
Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 7. Thank you. Who you got?
I think
look
that,
for this.
man, the funniest thing would be, it's going to be 2 really funny outcomes. Either way is going to be funny because either the Celtics are going to come back from being down 3-0 to win 4 in a row against the Heat, or the Celtics are going to come back from being down 3-0 to tie the series and then just lose. So I think that's a little bit funnier.
I am very excited either way. I am rooting for Miami personally, solely because I'm a follower of the Dan Le Batard show, and that show's a lot of fun when they're excited. Less fun when they're sad. So
I
would
want
like to see
Heat fans
Miami
to be
win.
sad, but I don't.
But here's-
I don't like either of these teams. I described both of them as moral abominations to someone who was asking for a rooting interest. So I'm rooting for whichever of these teams to win, and then just get crushed by the Denver Nuggets.
I would rather see Boston fans be upset than Miami fans, personally, because I think Boston is a more atrocious fan base than Miami.
I don't know about
Personally.
that. I mean, maybe, but you would be surprised with Miami fans.
Maybe. I've actually never been to Miami. I've only been to Orlando to see our friend Mickey and his wife Minnie Mouse. You ever been to their house?
Nicholas Mouse.
Oh, is that his name?
Yep, that's his name.
And his wife's name is Minneapolis Mouse?
Minneapolis Mouse.
Nicholas and Minneapolis Mouse. Going to invite them to our wedding. I found it. Okay, this actually makes a lot of sense. It's a clip from a previous episode. The clip is called Some New Bullshit for Jeff to Use. just a quick 40-second clip to, advertise our show. 92.3% likes, which means there's only been one dislike. I wonder who it's from. Perhaps
Probably Jeff. Probably Jeff.
We know you listen to this podcast.
Stop all the
You can
name
give it up.
searching, Jeff.
Yeah. I did put his name in there specifically so he would name search, though, because I know he's that type of guy. So you can follow us on YouTube there, The Only Fun Survivor Podcast. That's this one. There's other ones, too, but they're not fun. They're just saying the same shit every day. Not us. We never talk about memes incessantly for hours on end.
It's never happened. There's no proof of it.
Did you give the Apple reviews for anybody on YouTube who also has the Apple Podcasts app and wants to leave us a review there as well?
Oh, no, I didn't. This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all of the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up. Spotify does not allow me to leave reviews, but if I could, I would say that I look forward to seeing this in my Spotify Wrapped.
Should we allow people to mention Spotify in their YouTube comments as well?
Honestly, they could just put that whole thing in the YouTube comment if they want to.
That's true. That's suitable for any platform. Well, that's officially Memorial Day, Marquesas Memorial Day. So that means it is officially summer, and I have to say to you, my friend, have a great summer.
Deuces. Do you remember when there were a bunch of, engagement bait tweets that were eating off of these hit different, and it was just a regular paper plate?
We have a Space Jam plate still at my house, in my parents' house. It's a little plastic plate, and it's got Michael Jordan on it and Bugs Bunny playing basketball.
I'm very familiar with that plate. I've eaten off that plate before. Would you say that it hits different?
I would say that chopped up hot dogs and some mac and cheese really hits different on that plate. It just doesn't taste the same on those white plates that you eat as an adult off of.
Yeah. Ridiculous. It can't just be that you felt differently about it as a child. It's that it physically is different.
I mean, I would say I'm physically different than a child, yes. Bigger, stronger.
I'm
more
not.
productive.
I'm never getting old.
Oh, that's right. I forgot how youthful you are. The youngest man in the world.
Full of life. That's right. I'm a little Benjamin Button boy.
That's what I'm going to call you. That's what you got to change your name now that Succession is over.
Yeah, that's true. No, I just changed it back to Jarris Walker. It was fun being Tom Womskins for a day, though.
You got to change it to Benjamin Button Boy.
No, I'm not going to do
Post
that.
a lot of pictures of yourself with the youthful filter from, the websites. Make you look like a cherub.
In the words of Joe Biden, Chris Evans, no, I don't think I will.
Whatever. I think it's a good idea. Just a complete rebrand. No longer am I the basketball trivia guy. Now I'm a little baby boy.
Yeah, I'm posting you know me, I'm always posting pictures of myself on Twitter.
Every summer comes around and you're like, look at this little baby boy in Las Vegas. And you have a little cup out a little tin cup for food and coin. I guess I don't know what happens in Benjamin Button.
Yeah, but do you think I go out there to panhandle?
I think that's what Benjamin Button does.
Oh, okay. Wait, I don't think that's what Benjamin Button does either.
He's an old man that looks like a very young boy. So nobody trusts him to have
He has a
job.
sign out that says that. He has a cardboard sign.
And he's like, well,
I am a young boy who looks like old man. Please, anything helps.
and then 80 years later, I am an old man who looks like a young boy. Please give me a job. I can work a mechanic's job. Probably. I don't know. So 80-year-old men know how to be a mechanic.
I have soft hands. Please let me work on your looms. Are those still a thing? I don't know. I'm old.
I'll clean out your vents. I'm very small. But I have the knowledge of all buildings.
Chimney sweep's
I'm
still
old.
a thing?
It's gotta be a thing. If people are still panhandling with tin cups on the streets of Benjamin Buttown, I'd have to think that chimney sweeps are also a thing. Was Benjamin Buttown an English boy?
Benjamin Buttown was the sequel to both Benjamin Button and The Town. Smarten up, Probst.